Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, A grade. Today we will discuss about some question related to PAT. Okay, first we will talk about probability and statistic. But before we go to the questions and the example, I will explain about experimental probability and theoretical probability. Experimental probability is, suppose we have a box of balls and we will take a ball until some couple of time to determine the experimental probability. First take we get yellow. Make a note that we get yellow ball, and the second take we get green balls, and the third take we get yellow balls again, until suppose we want to take until 20. So we get yellow 7, we get green ball is 8, and we get red ball is 5. After we know how many yellow balls, green ball, and red ball, we can find the probability of each ball. The formula to get the experimental probability is favorable occurrence over total trial. So the probability of yellow balls is 7/20. Where it come from? 7 is from the frequency. How many we get yellow ball in 20 tick. After that, the probability of green ball 8/20. 8 is come from how many we get green ball in 20 tick of the ball. And then the last is red ball. We get 5/20. We can make it simpler to be 1/4. And the next is theoretical probability. Theoretical probability is the probability that we get not from experiment but only by formula. So suppose we have a box contain some balls inside. To determine the theoretical probability, we need to know how many the number of ball inside and how many each color the number is. I mean how many each color inside. The formula of theoretical probability is favorable outcomes over total outcomes. Now let we see that there are 2 yellow balls, 3 green balls, and 1 red balls, and the total of balls is 6. Different with experimental probability, we don't need to doing experiment. We don't need to take any balls, we just look how many balls and each color. So we get the probability of each ball is the favorable outcomes over total outcome. Yellow ball is 2 balls inside over all the total balls inside, 2/6. Of course, green ball also 3/6. How it comes? 3 is from the number of ball inside the box, and the last is red ball because the red ball is only 1, so we have the theoretical probability of red ball is 1/6. Okay, I hope you understand. To make it easier, experimental probability is based on real experiment, and theoretical probability is just expectation. Actually, the formula is similar. What we want to know over the total outcomes. Suppose we want to know about the probability of yellow balls, so we need to count the total of outcomes of yellow ball over the total of all outcomes. So in Indonesia, theoretical probability is ekspektasi dan experimental probability is realita. To make you more understand, let's go to the first example. Here we have a box contain 5 different color with The number of ball is unknown. Anna take a ball and put it back a couple of times. I will explain in bahasa. Jadi Anna ini mau mengambil bola di dalam sebuah box beberapa kali. Jadi mengambil lalu dikembalikan, mengambil dikembalikan sebanyak beberapa kali sehingga diperoleh hasil seperti pada tabel. We know that she get red ball is 15, yellow ball is 12, green ball is 22, gray ball is 19, and blue ball is 17. The question is find the probability of each colors. How to solve this? We can relating this problem to the experimental probability because Anna doing experiment directly. We know that the total of experiment that she do is 85. So let we see the formula of experimental probability is favorable occurrence over total trial. So the probability of each ball is the number of its occurrence over the total of the event. The red ball is out 15 times, and the total trial that Anna do is 85. So red ball is 15 over 85, and the yellow ball is 12 over 85, green ball is 22 over 85, gray ball is 19 over 85, and the last is blue balls equal to 17 over 85. The numerator is come from the table, and the denominator is come from the total of frequency. The next example is about Andy taking a ball from a box containing some colored balls. From the question I will explain in bahasa so you can understand more. Jadi di dalam box itu terdapat beberapa bola berwarna. Andy akan mengambil sebuah bola dari dalam box tersebut kemudian mengembalikannya. Tapi di sini tidak diketahui jumlah tiap bola, begitu pula tidak diketahui jumlah bola seluruhnya. Di situ hanya diketahui presentase dari banyak bola dalam satu box. Misal, warna biru di situ dituliskan 1/3 dari satu lingkaran penuh. Artinya, bola warna biru sebanyak 1/3 bagian dari banyak bola seluruhnya. Okay, understand? The question is determine the probability of Andy getting a blue balls, a red balls, a yellow or gray balls, and the last is determine the expected frequency of getting blue balls if Andy take 80 times. I will explain about expected frequency after this. We discuss about the first question about the probability. Because we don't know the number of the balls, so we use all the information about the degrees. Kita lengkapi dulu. We complete all the degrees inside the diagram, the pie chart. The yellow balls is 90 degrees because that was right angles. The blue balls is 120 degrees from 1/3 times 360. And the last is red ball is 40 degrees where it come from 360 minus all of the degrees of another balls. Jadi 360 dikurangi derajat dari bola-bola yang lain. Okay, the next is you just only divide the degrees of the current ball over 360. Let's see, a blue balls is 120 over 360 is equal to 1/3. Jadi di sini kita bisa lihat benar bahwa rumusnya adalah sudut dari bola yang diinginkan per sudut seluruhnya yaitu 360. Hasilnya 1/3. Blue ball 1/3. Kita bisa lihat ya bahwa blue balls banyak bola blue adalah 1 bagian dari 3 bagian seluruh bola. Jadi peluang mendapatkan bola biru adalah 1 dari 3 keseluruhan. Continue the red balls, we just need the degrees of red balls. 40 degrees over 360 degrees is equal to 1/9. So the probability of getting red balls is 1/9 part. And the last is yellow or gray balls. Be careful with these questions. We have yellow and gray balls. Andy is win if he get yellow balls or gray balls. So it doesn't necessary gray or yellow. If he get one of them, he will win. Jadi kita bisa bisa memperoleh kuning maupun abu-abu. So we add all the degrees of them. Yellow plus gray, 90 degrees plus 50 degrees over 360. Why? Because yellow and gray is needed in this question. And the last is expected frequency. Expected frequency of getting blue balls if Andy take 80 times. Apa itu expected frequency? Expected frequency adalah banyaknya kejadian yang mungkin terjadi dari seluruh event yang terjadi. Jadi di sini Andy kemungkinan akan mendapatkan bola biru berapa banyak dalam pengambilan 80 kali. How the formula? The formula is probability times number of trial. Karena tadi bicara tentang blue balls, so we need to see the probability of blue balls. The probability of blue balls is 1/3 times the number of trial is 80. We get 26.7. We need to run it because sebuah bola tidak mungkin sebagian ya, jadi kita harus bulatkan menjadi 27. So the number of expected frequency getting blue balls in 80 times taking the balls is 27. Maksudnya adalah Andy akan mendapatkan 27 bola warna biru dalam 80 kali pengambilan kemungkinannya, karena kita bicara tentang probability. After we learn about the example, now your time to do the exercise number 1. The next is exercise number 2. Next is about three-dimensional shape. Let's see the example. Given a cuboid A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, F, G, H with AB is equal to 4 cm, BC is equal to 5 cm, AE is equal to 12 cm, and the question is find the area of DCFE. DCFE, yes, that's right. Okay, first we need to sketch the cuboid. And the question is find the area of DCFE, the blue part. We know that is a plane diagonal. So if we draw it in two-dimensional figure, we will get a rectangular. Persegi panjang. Ingat, tuas persegi panjang adalah width times length. We know that the width is DC. DC from the picture is 4. And now we find the length. The length is CF. And we don't know about CF, so we can find it from the Pythagorean theorem from BF and BC. CF is root of BF square plus BC square. So we get 13. The question is area, so we multiply 4 and 13, we get 52 centimeter square. The next example, we have two pyramid with the same size of base. Jadi alasnya sama, but the height of the right pyramid pyramid is triple of the left pyramid. Jadi tinggi dari piramida yang sebelah kanan adalah 3 kali dari piramida sebelah kiri. And we know that AB equal to 4, BC equal to 3, and EO equal to 6 cm. So the base is 4 times 3, and the height of the small pyramid is 6. Determine the ratio between volume of pyramid right and pyramid left. I think that's wrong. There was typo ya, not cuboid and the pyramid, but the first pyramid and the second pyramid. The first pyramid and the second pyramid, we want to find the ratio between them. We know that the volume of pyramid is P times L times T times 1/3, and we know from the given is the height of the second pyramid is 3 times T1, or the height of the second pyramid is 3 times of the first pyramid. So we can write down as 3 times T1 over there. Okay, if you understand, we continue to substitute the number. The base is 4 times 3, the height is 6, and because the height of the second pyramid is 3 times of the first pyramid, so we get 3 times 6 over there. Cancel everything that we can canceling, so we get 1 by 3. Ratio of pyramid 1 and pyramid 2 is 1 by 3. If you already understand, we continue to the exercise number 3. The fourth exercise. Now we continue to the circle. Let's see the example. There was 6 barrels will be tied like the illustration beside. Each of barrel have diameter of 28 cm, and we will find the minimum length of rope needed to tie the 6 barrels. Jadi 6 barrels atau tong di situ akan diikat oleh tali. Berapa tali minimum yang diperlukan untuk mengikat tali tersebut? Continue to the solution. We write first the given that diameter is 28, so the radius will be 14. What we want to find is the right line that denote as the rope. Jadi garis merah itu adalah tali yang kita perlukan. We partition the straight line and the arc. Kita akan memotong pada titik-titik tertentu sehingga membedakan mana yang garis lurus dan garis lengkung. We give some variable to denote it and make it easier. So the length of the red line is equal to AB plus line DC plus line EF plus the curve of the arc or the arc. Jadi panjang dari talinya adalah panjang dari garis-garis AB tambah garis DC tambah garis EF ditambahkan dengan tali yang melengkung, garis yang melengkung, atau yang biasa kita sebut sebagai arc. Arc EF plus arc BC plus arc CE. And we know that AB is equal to 4 times of radius. So we get EF also 4 times of radius and DC also 4 times of radius. We can write down as 4R plus 4R plus 4R. And how about 2PR? Jadi di situ dari ketiga arc jika digabungkan akan membentuk sebuah lingkaran. So all the arc, if we make it as a circle, it will become 2PR. Bisa dipahami ya? Jadi tadi garis yang melengkung jika disatukan menjadi sebuah lingkaran. Jadi panjang dari semua arc tadi sama dengan mencari panjang dari keliling sebuah lingkaran. Okay, if you already understand, we continue to substitute the number. The R is 14 and the P is 22/7. So we get 12 times 14 plus 2 times 22/7 times 14. We get 256 cm as the length of the minimum rope to tie the barrels. If you already understand, let's try the exercise. Okay, continue the next similarity and congruency. The first example. I don't mean the first example, this is last example actually. Kate with height 1.5 meter standing in front of a tree, and Kate casts a shadow 5 meter and the tree casts 20 meter shadow so that the top of both shadow meet in a point. Find the height of the tree. Jadi di situ ada pohon sama si Kate berdiri di depan pohon sehingga bayangan mereka, puncak dari bayangan mereka bertemu di satu titik. Seperti pada gambar ya, bisa dilihat. The question is the height of the tree. Okay, continue to the solution. Let we see from the figure we can make it as a triangle. Big triangle and small triangle. The big triangle is triangle ADF and the small triangle is BDE. And we can use the similarity formula because E and F is the same, B and A is the same, and D is coincide. The small angle of the small triangle and the smallest angle from the bigger triangle is coincide in the same point, so it will be have the same size. Okay, I will try to explain in bahasa. Jadi sesuai dengan aturan sudut sehadap ya, maka sudut E akan sama besar dengan sudut F, sudut B sama dengan sudut A, dan sudut D sama dengan sudut D karena berhimpit. Jika ketiga sudut dari kedua segitiga tersebut sama besar, maka memenuhi syarat dari similarity. Sudut. A, angle. So ADF is similar to triangle BDE. Write all the number that given. We will find the EF. Remember that the two similar triangle will have this formula. Jadi dua segitiga yang sama, yang sebangun akan memiliki aturan bahwa setiap sisi-sisi yang bersesuaian akan memiliki perbandingan yang sama. The height of the big triangle over the height of the small triangle is the same of the base of the big triangle over the small triangle is equal to the hypotenuse of the big triangle over the small triangle. Silakan dicermati terlebih dahulu, which is FD, ED, AF, BA, AD, and BD. Substitute all the number given. So we know that AD and BD is useless here, so we only use 20/5 equal to EF over 1.5 because we want to find EF. Like this. So by algebra, we will have AF as 6 meter. Kali silang sehingga akan didapat AF sama dengan 6 meter. Remember that EF is the height of tree, so we have the height of the tree is 6 meter. If you already understand, let's try the exercise. The last exercise, of course. Okay, that's all from me. Write all the exercise in a structure paper, write in folio, and hope you understand all the question and all the example. Hope this useful for you. Have a nice day, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.